Hey, Rich Lucas, Fat Loss Renegade Project. I did a webinar last night on how to get toned abs, and lo and behold, I thought it recorded, but it didn't. So I'm re-recording it for you today, and hopefully this one will work. Okay, so we're going to go through everything that we covered in the seminar, minus the interaction, which was quite humorous at times from the other guys, but you're going to get most of the information in this. So welcome to this webinar that you are now watching on recording. This is what we're going to talk about in this one. What we really mean when we say abs. Everyone says they want to get a toned tummy. They're going to work their abs. We're going to look at what we actually mean when we say abs. Some huge mistakes when people make when they're exercising. Huge mistakes when it comes to eating, trying to get abs. Top foods that stop abs making an appearance. Also exercises that do nothing to get abs. How to exercise visible abs and how to eat visible abs. Now the reason I put this together was because I used to work in a gym. I don't work in the gym anymore. When I did work in the gym, I'd see lots of people like doing sit-ups, doing ab cages, doing crunches, all this kind of stuff, and it doesn't really work that well. There are things that you can do that works really well, and that's what we're going to cover in this webinar. Also strategies that could get you an abtastic result in 4 to 5 days. Okay, so these are mainly in strategies that can get visible abs on some people, not all people, on some people in just a few days, as they're that effective. Okay, so now this one doesn't apply because this only applied to the guys who were on the call. This in the future, if you can make the webinar in person, that's fine, because I usually give away some free stuff. Right, who am I again? I laugh at that picture each time. My name's Rich Lucas. I'm a personal trainer, fitness hooligan, all that nice bloke. I got shocking genetics. The reason I put this picture up isn't to brag. I haven't really got anything to brag about, but the point is I do have abs. And the point sorry, let's go back there, shall we? We went back there. The point with me putting this picture up is that I have really bad genetics. My genetics are just, my mum is, I think my mum's about sort of 11, 12 stone, 5 foot. My dad's 5'6" and about 14 stone. Very endomorphic. I've got really bad genetics. Okay, so if I can get some kind of result in my stomach without doing any direct abdominal work, so can you. I go against what most of the fitness industry say and do. I kill fat for a living, but most of all, I'm a normal guy. I mean, people think if you're a personal trainer that that your job keeps you fit. It really doesn't. All you're doing is stood there telling other people how to exercise. You don't majorly do much yourself, unless you're teaching spinning and taking up running and all that. But I'm a normal guy. I'm a dad. I run a business or a couple of businesses, and I'm not an athlete anymore. I suffer the same kind of things that you guys suffer from. Okay, so what we did then is we moved into the main part of the webinar, and I put this nice biological picture up about what we really mean when we say abs. And most people only know this muscle there, which is the six-pack muscle, also known as the rectus abdominis. There's lots of other muscles in the trunk area, in the lumbar area, okay? Because you've got the rectus abdominis, which is the six-pack muscle. You've got the obliques, the internal obliques, the intercostal muscles, transverse abs. You've got the quadratus lumborum. You've got the multifidus, which are the deep postural muscles that go around your spine. The main ones we concern ourselves with when we work is the three parts, okay? Which is the rectus abdominis, which is the six-pack muscle. The obliques, which is the bits on the sides, and the transverse abs, which is down in the lower abdomen area. So that's what we mean when we say abs, and knowing that they're the three areas that we're going to be working, but we're going to be working lots of other areas, it helps us that little bit. Okay, so at this point I ask people what they normally do, and the usual things come back. Ab crunches, those ab cages that people hold on to and they push against their neck, and it's not good for you. Slender tone electric current belt. Funnily enough, after doing the webinar last night, I was watching TV and an advert for the slender tone electric current belt came on. They also do tummy toning exercises. I don't even know what that is. They do long sessions on the cardio machine. That's kind of good in a way, because they understand that they got to burn fat for their abs to show through, but long slow sessions on the cardio machine doesn't really help too much. Other people, a lot of people use resistance machines. They get on the shoulder press, the chest press, leg press, that type of thing. They use resistance machines. They also do exercises sat down. A lot of resistance machines do exercises sitting down, or they do abs fitness classes. Now, I got no problem with abs fitness classes. What I got a problem with is it's not an abs fitness class if they're not teaching you how to cook. If they're not teaching you how to cook, I don't understand how it can help you get abs. Okay. Right, then we moved on to what people normally eat to get abs. Now, some people do Slimming Club, a lot of people do Slimming Club diets, like Slimming World, Weight Watchers and that. Some do meal replacement shakes, so things like Slim Fast, Body by Vi, Herbalife and that kind of thing. Some people just starve themselves. Some people severely restrict their calorie intake, or they follow fad diets, crazy diets their friends tell them about. I mean, none of these are going to work too well for you. Okay, Slimming Clubs only really address one thing. Slimming Clubs only address cutting calories and making you conscious of what you're eating, which is great. You know, when you start to lose weight, if you've got a lot of weight to lose, it's a good way to get yourself started and become aware of what you're eating. But those results will slow eventually, and this is where we're going a little bit deeper into this. So I'm not hating on Slimming Clubs. I'm just saying that sooner or later you're going to need to sort of take responsibility for more than just your calorie intake. Meal replacement shake is a stupid idea. Don't do them. Okay, they don't cleanse your body on a cellular level at all. All they do is either flood your body full of fibre, or again just severely restrict your calories. And as soon as you stop eating them, you'll just put all the weight back on and a little bit more. Severe calorie restriction messes up your hormones. Okay, it causes major hormonal damage by not eating very much for a long period of time. You can eat not much for a couple of days and then really up your calorie intake, but that's something that we're not going to go into in this webinar because it's an advanced technique. I think every month now, I can't believe magazines like Zest and Women's Health and Men's Health, I can't believe they make it so long, because they put the same things in there every single month and they fill the rest of it up with adverts. Okay, rather than go with fad diets, educate yourself on what you should be eating. Don't think about it in the terms of points or red days or green days or pink with yellow spots days or what have you. Learn the nutrient value of your food, nutritional value of your food, okay, and work from that. You know, work out where you get your proteins from, your carbohydrates, your fats, all that. Your friends will always tell you about diets. They'll come and they'll say, follow this diet, you can eat as much bread and pasta as you want, but on this day you can only eat a cake if you do a dance or whatever it is. Okay, honestly, I mean, my main goal is to stop people dieting. Okay, I know I run a fat loss program, fat loss running a project and all that, but the point of that is I'd rather have someone with me for 28 days and then cast them off into the world and just say, look, you don't need to diet anymore. Do you know what I mean? So just don't bother with diets. Okay, there's more to life than dieting, and that's the main thing I try to get across. It doesn't always come across, but that's the main thing I try to get across. Don't diet. Okay, learn to eat correctly and then just live. Okay. Excuse me. Right, then we went into the simple truths about toned abs, right? There's a few things that it doesn't matter how many tummy toning exercises you do, no matter how many electrodes you strap to your body, it makes absolutely no difference. Okay, there's a few simple truths that we need to address before we move forward. So the first thing is, abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. Okay, if your diet is shocking, you will not get the results that you were looking for. You have to put the work in the kitchen. As you say, you work out 3 times a week, you eat 21 times a week. Okay, some of you work out 5 times a week, you're going to be eating 24 to 25 times a week. Okay, you can't outrun your fork is another way of looking at it. Okay, your abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. So women, you get your body fat levels below 10 to 12% and your abs will start to show through. Okay, you need to be careful with this because when ladies are genetically hardwired to carry more fat than men, obviously from a nurturing point of view, from a childbearing point of view, you need to be careful. You need to keep an eye on it because this can interfere with your menstrual cycle. It can also affect fertility. Okay, so don't make this like a goal. You need to do it while working alongside a fitness professional, a qualified fitness professional that knows what they're talking about. And also consult with your doctor at the same time when stripping fat down to that kind of level. The second part, whenever you have a weight above your head, you're working your abs. That's something that people don't know, because they think they need to lie on their back and do hundreds of crunches. Not so much. If you lift a weight, like a weight plate above your head, and move around a little bit, you work your abs, believe it or not. Men, 8 to 10%. You got to get your body fat down to 8 to 10%. Obviously, it's not going to affect your menstrual cycle, so you don't have to worry about that too much. You do have to watch yourself from an energy point of view as well. I think at my lowest, I got my body fat down to 6%, and it's great. You know, I had an 8-pack and all that, but I mean, I didn't know what day it was. Your concentration goes completely out the window. I couldn't do it now, for example, because your concentration just got. And that's all you've got, because you can't go out and drink. You can't go out and have fun with your friends. All you can do is sit in and look at your stomach, basically. So yeah, 8 to 10%, your abs will start to show through. It's a body fat thing. Get your body fat down, your abs show through. Everyone's got abs. You know, you can lump them up a little bit, but everyone's got abs. You get your body fat through, you'll get some kind of a resemblance of a six-pack. The next one, ab crunches do very little, and you're more likely to hurt your back and neck. You know, you think about the ab cage, you know, when it's like a cage, rounded cage thing, where you hold on to the top and you push your neck up, yeah? You think about it, your skull, your cranium, your skull's connected to the spine, okay? You're pushing the skull forwards, and you're pronating over your collarbone. It just doesn't, for me, I don't see how that can help. That's just going to injure your neck, alright? Ab crunches don't do very much, okay? You also curve in your spine a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you can do them, but I wouldn't do that many of them. Slendertone electric belts are the stupidest waste of time I've ever seen. I don't even know how they work. I can't work out how they work. I don't know what they do. Yeah, they tense your muscles up, but surely, if you've got a layer of fat, that doesn't make much difference. And you can get visible abs with, first and foremost, the correct diet, and then the correct exercises. Get your diet sorted first. As I said last night, if you haven't got your diet sorted out, you're not toning your abs, you're just shaping your fat. Okay, so some foods to avoid if you want abs. Bread, pasta, grains, anything with wheat gluten in it. The main thing with wheat and gluten is a lot of people are intolerant to it. If they're intolerant to it, it slows the digestive system down. If your digestive system has been slowed down, you can't burn fat very effectively. Okay, particularly, and you think about it, you're eating gluten, it slows down through your intestinal tract. What then happens is, a lot of people say when they eat wheat, they get bloating. Okay, you don't see many people bloating with abs. Okay, so if you want a big one is anything with wheat and gluten in it, avoid it. Okay, go with lean proteins, go with vegetables, but avoid anything bread, pasta, grains, anything like that. The next one is alcohol. You knew this anyway. If you drink, your liver needs to flush out the toxins. If your liver's flushing out the toxins, you cannot get your fat burning potential up very much. Okay, there's no saying that if you one night drinking, it'll take you back 4 days in the gym. Okay, sometimes if the people who drink on the weekend, they may as well not bother going to the gym in the week. Okay, that's how alcohol's. If you can't get abs and drink alcohol. The next one is dairy products. Dairy products produce a lot of phlegm in the body. You get some hardcore vegans saying things like milk is white pus and all that. I'm not going to go that far, but I'm talking about abs here. What I'm saying is, a lot of people are intolerant to dairy products. Now, if they're intolerant to dairy products, their bodies can't handle it. Okay, it causes bloating, causes toxins to be held onto. If toxins are being held onto, the body can't flush fat. I'm going to cover the your takeaways and processed food. Okay, takeaways, keep away from takeaways. There's just no point in having takeaways if you're trying to get abs. Okay, because particularly Chinese takeaways, you've got stuff like MSGs in there. You've got you don't know what it's been cooked in. What I would do is I would keep away from takeaways altogether if you're on a bit of an abs mission. Sugar causes that insulin spike in the blood. Now, this is why I say to people, don't snack. After they finish the Fat Loss Renegade project, I say to them, 3 times a day, and you don't snack. You don't snack at all. The reason being is after you finish eating, your body secretes insulin. Okay, after a while, a couple of hours, your body starts to secrete glycogen. Now, when your body secreting glycogen, you are burning fat. Okay. If you have a bar of chocolate mid-morning, and what that then does is it causes insulin to raise again. Now, if insulin's keeping being raised, all you're doing is secreting insulin, and that's going to cause fat storage. if you get my meaning. All right, so keep away from your sugars. I would eat proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. You can have some natural sugars with it if you want to, in fruit in the mornings, 3 times a day. If you eat in between that, all you're doing is you're short-circuiting your results. Okay, processed foods, if it comes in a box, it's going to put you in a box. The more heavier it is marketed, the more heavier it will make you. Alright, so keep away from processed foods. You need to keep away from these foods if you want abs. If not, that's fine. You can eat what you want, you can drink what you want. I'm not telling you that you can't do any of that, but you're not getting any abs, and I'll put money on that. Alright, so that is your choice at the end of the day. Okay, exercise to avoid. I'm loath to put this picture up here because I think the guy's a legend. I took a lot of flack when I put it up on the Facebook page, but I'm looking purely as aesthetics. What he did was great, 43 marathons, but it doesn't benefit fitness and it doesn't benefit fat loss. Okay, I think from a human point of view, I think it's amazing. But check this out. He did 43 marathons, and check it there. He's still got a pouch on him. Okay, still got weight on it. And that to me is proof that long plod pavement shuffling cardio does not work. Okay, I see it when I'm sometimes driving home. I see a bunch of ladies running along and they're shuffling along, and I can see they haven't activated their core, they haven't activated their glutes, so they're probably doing more damage than good. Obviously I don't stop and say anything, but also it's very efficient from a fat burning point of view. Okay, I can't go too deeply into it now, but really speaking, it doesn't really push for fat burning. Okay, and we'll look at that on the next slide now. Resistance machines don't majorly work either, because it only works one muscle group usually, and it fixes your body in a certain plane of motion. I mean, if I'm doing a clean and press, I'm using lots of different muscle joints. And I'm using my cardiovascular system too. If I'm on a chest press machine, I'm just using my chest and not much cardio. Ab crunches, do a few ab crunches if you want to, but I don't really see the point of it. One way you can do an ab crunch which actually works is if you lift a weight above your head while you do it, and you go for 8 to 12 repetitions, okay, where your abs can't lift anymore, but that's more an advanced technique. Make sure you get some guidance on that. Hips, bums and tums classes, seriously? I used to teach a class before that. I used to teach a circuit style class before that when I worked in the gym. And you get the same ladies coming into this hips, bums and tums class. And this was over a 2-year period. They still look the same. They just look the same throughout. It's like, where's the point? Enjoy your lunch breaks more. Any exercise where you're sat down, if you sat down, your abs are not engaged. Okay, if your abs are not engaged, they're not getting worked. Okay, so there's a few things to avoid. Now what we need to think about is the training objectives to concern ourselves with if we're trying to get abs. Now check this out, okay? You got a marathon runner here and you got a sprinter there, okay? And this is the female equivalent of the two. Okay, so the marathon runner, let's face it, he looks ill. The girls here, they just look ill. Think Paula Radcliffe, yeah, fit as you like, she can run and run and run, but they didn't look well, did they? They didn't look too well. They didn't have any muscle mass on them. But check out the sprinters, okay? Look at the abs. The arms on this guy, okay? These guys wouldn't look out of place in a bodybuilding competition, okay? It's because sprinting, or HIIT cardio, which I've got up there, it stimulates an anaerobic response in the body, okay, which causes muscles to grow, and this is good. This is really good stuff. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is we've got to think about body fat reduction. If you do not reduce your fat, your abs will show through, so sort your diet out. The next one is abdominal. I did that last night too. Abdominal hypertrophy, which is increasing the muscle tone in the abdominal area, in layman's terms. The other thing is abdominal endurance. This is so that our abs can work for a point in time. Really speaking, abdominal hypertrophy you can only do maybe 3 to 4 times a week, because you're working your abs sort of. You're doing it with a weight on your chest or something like that, or a Turkish get up or what have you. What that does is it increases the muscle tone. Abdominal endurance is a different term, and that's for example doing 50 to 100 reps of a certain exercise, or holding a plank for a long period of time. The other thing is postural correction and strengthening. There's videos about that'll show you how to activate your core. I would look at Pilates. Pilates is really good for this kind of thing. Yoga as well to a certain point. Then total body lifts. I told you, I mean, with my abs, not great or anything, but also I'm a dad. I'm not really overly strict on my diet or anything like that. But you can get abs from doing total body lifts. Now, total body lifts are exercise like squat, deadlift, clean and press, kettlebell swings, burpees, maybe even some lunges, knees, toes to bar, man makers. There's lots of different exercises. Really speaking, if the exercise is hard and you hate it, it's usually the one that you should be doing, unfortunately. So total body lifts are the way forward. And your workouts need to include this. It needs to be a weight that you can lift 8 to 10, maybe to 12 times, depending on your body type. Training to your body type is really important, by the way. Okay, you've got your ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph. I've gone off key for a minute there. But if you're slightly on the bigger side, you want to be doing 12 reps, and if you're slightly on the smaller side, you want to be going at 8 reps. I've completely oversimplified it there, but that'll give you something to work by. You want to be lifting that weight. Let's go with 10 times. You want 10 times, so you can't lift it 11 times. Okay, you struggle to lift it 8 times, and you push it, and you get to 10 times. All right, that's the sort of weight you want to be lifting. That's why it drives me mad when I see people lifting 2 kilogram dumbbells. It doesn't help anyone. And the last one is metabolic resistance training. On the Fat Loss Renegade project, we're big on this. The point of the Fat Loss Renegade project is it's designed for parents, really, or it's designed for people who aren't members of gyms, who don't want to work out in a gym, who don't want to work out with equipment. They just want to get their workouts done at home with no equipment. So what we do is we do metabolic resistance training. We do stuff like 30 seconds of exercise, 30 seconds of another exercise, and 30 seconds rest, and then we repeat it. And that's metabolic resistance training. So you'd be doing press ups, squats, lunges, burpees, and that kind of thing. And you burn a lot of fat doing it too. Okay, so metabolic resistance training can really work. If you work out at the gym, things like supersets, giant sets, trisets, they're all forms of metabolic resistance training. Okay. Right, so the abs to work, you got rectus abdominis, six-pack muscles. So you do stuff like rollouts with that. Obliques, so that's rotation, that's twists and halos. Lower abs, hip flexion, leg raises, and toes to bar. So that's the general movements that we're looking to do to shape the abs. Like say, if you don't do your cardio and your HIIT cardio and all that, and sort your diet out, your abs won't show through anyway. So they're the abs to work. You've got the 3 areas that we need to be working with. So the dietary objectives to concern ourselves with is calorie control, carbohydrate cycling, toxins, intolerances, hormone imbalances, and the right supplementation. So the first thing is calorie control. Okay, I don't majorly like the site that much, but just use MyFitnessPal. Okay, it's a free resource, and you can use it as a calorie counter just to make sure that you're in your calories. But my experience, if you eat single ingredient foods, you don't go over your calories anyway, because it's pretty hard. Okay, so your calorie control, that's the first thing you need to do. The next one is carbohydrate cycling. Carbohydrate cycling is where you eat carbs one day and maybe don't eat for a couple of days after that, and then you repeat. Okay, what this does is it increases the chance that you're going to be using fat as a fuel to burn rather than carbohydrate, and it also makes you more insulin sensitive. Okay, we'll talk about that in the hormonal bit. Next one, toxins. Talked about this before. Okay, wheat, dairy, gluten, sugar, alcohol, sometimes even caffeine. Okay, these are the things that your body can't really deal with that well. Okay, if your body can't really deal with that well, it's going to hold on to it. It's going to cause bloating, and if your body is getting rid of toxins, it's not burning fat. Okay, so toxins is another thing that you need to concern yourselves with. Also comes back to intolerances. Loads of people, Fat Loss Renegade Project, loads of people come back and they say, I lost 7 to 9 pounds in the first week. How did that happen? It's probably because we cut out wheat. Now, if you cut out wheat, what then happens is the bloating goes down. Okay, bloating goes down. Your body can handle the food you're eating finally and starts to burn more fat. Okay. Next one, hormonal imbalances. Now, I brushed on this recently. I mean, you've got leptin, ghrelin, adrenaline, insulin, cortisol. There's plenty of hormones to concern ourselves with. But what we need to be doing is we need to make sure that leptin is working properly. So leptin is like the fuel gauge for your brain. It exists in the white fat cells, and what it does is it tells your brain when you're full. Now, if you've gone through a period of time where you've eaten loads of food, you've overeaten, you've eaten the wrong foods, you've eaten at funny times, what then happens is your body becomes leptin resistant. It also becomes insulin resistant too at some stage, but this is all preceded by a metabolic X syndrome. I'm trying not to go into the science side of it. Basically, what you need to do is rebalance leptin. So we talked a little bit about the eating 3 times a day without snacking. That's the way to do it. Okay, you need to be making sure that you're not interrupting the insulin, glucagon secretion. So you eat breakfast at 9, you eat again at 1. Okay, because you eat breakfast at 9, then over that period you'll secrete insulin, then you'll secrete glucagon, you'll burn fat, then you'll eat again, and the cycle will start again. If you have a mid-morning snack, that will mess the cycle up. Okay, and this is why I think a lot of bodybuilders are fat when they quit competing, because they eat 6 times a day as part of their training to get their muscles up and constantly fuel their muscles. However, a lot of them end up being diabetic and things like that, which is something that we need to avoid. The other thing aside from that is drinking stuff like coffee can exhaust your adrenal glands and affect your ability to burn fat. It can also raise cortisol. Now, cortisol is the stress hormone. The reason we talked about cortisol is because it gets stress. It causes stress and it causes fat gain on the stomach, and we'll talk about that more in a second. So yeah, hormone imbalances. This is where the 3 times a day comes in. So you've got that leptin and the glucagon, the insulin, and the glucagon secretion. The last one, right supplementation. It is optional. I do recommend a few supplements, but you don't need supplements. Supplements are just that. They're supplements. They can help if your body's out of whack. They can help if you're deficient in certain things. I mean, the ones I recommend is probiotic, fish oils, magnesium spray. Some coconut oil can work as well. It's just little stuff that can help you balance out a little bit. Okay. Right, so I touched on the cortisol thing before. Now, cortisol is a stress hormone that gets secreted when your body's under stress. Exercise can do this, okay? This is why I say don't train for any more than 45 minutes, okay? On the Fat Loss Renegade project, the guys train for 20 minutes. I think it's about 20 minutes in the morning, and then as the weeks go on, if they want to, they can do another exercise later on. Again, it's 25 minutes, because the point of doing that is if you train for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, there's more chance that your body can secrete cortisol. Okay, so your body secreting cortisol, what that does is it just means that your body needs to protect its vital organs. So it puts a layer of fat on the midsection. All right. Also, if you don't sleep, if you get like a long period of not sleeping very well, that causes increased cortisol. Anxiety or stress causes increased cortisol. Anything where you're using stimulants such as caffeine and sugar, and depression such as alcohol, and you might find that you start to rely on it a little bit. Okay, it all sort of leads to this secretion of cortisol, and can also lead to something called adrenal fatigue syndrome, which I get sometimes. Okay. So the point is, first, obviously you need to get 8-9 hours sleep in. You need to avoid caffeine as much as possible. Green tea is okay, but avoid coffee and things like that. Avoid sugar, avoid alcohol, and stressful situations. With the training, yeah, you got to train hard, and that's fine, but like keep it at 45 minutes. And after training, don't be drinking coffee. Okay, after you do your training, you want to be getting in some Tulsi tea. It's Tulsi, Tulsi tea. That can lower cortisol and relax you for the evening. All right. The worst thing you can do is drink coffee, because that just shocks your cortisol up sky high, because you're already high from the training. More coffee will send it even more high. Now, this, like I say, this promotes fat store around the midsection, so it's a good thing to try and get away from. Okay, just quickly then, toxins in your midsection. On the Fat Loss Renegade project, lots of the guys lose 7 pounds to 9 pounds in the first week, and it's usually because they're intolerant to something they didn't know they were. It's usually wheat, gluten, and dairy. They're the main culprits usually. Usually weight they've been holding on to for years will suddenly fall off. Miraculously, they'll break plateaus, and it'll all come straight off. And as you can see, you get some good inch loss there as well. The beauty is they feel less bloated and lethargic. They'll get slimmer and leaner in that first week, and that's why it's 4 to 5 days. They do the carbohydrate cycling, they cut out the wheat, the dairy, the gluten, and all that, and they'll have more energy and they'll feel more confident within that week. So the first week's always the magic week, as they say. So toxins are really important. I mean, I know you're watching this video, you probably know about calorie restriction. I don't really want to talk about that because that's obvious. It's obvious that you know that. Okay, I'm talking about the other things. Yeah, you got your calories right, but you're not getting abs. Why aren't you getting abs? What you need to do? You got to do more ab crunches. No, you don't. You have to keep your calories at a good level, but you also then need to get your toxins out. Start eating more cleaner. You start eating cleaner, you'll start to get leaner. And that rhymes. I didn't know that rhymed. Okay, so we did a bit of a questions and answer then. We talked about sugars and stuff like that and all that. Okay, now this is the other thing. Fat loss is something I know about. I've been running the Fat Loss Renegade project for about 8 months now, something like that. And we've put a lot of people through, about 150 by last count. And if they follow it, they always get results. That's the beauty of this. Okay, there's a double money back guarantee if they don't. Okay, and these are all the testimonials, the before and after pictures, some more testimonials there. So we know it definitely works, and it works well, and it works 100% of the time. Okay, so I put there 1st of July, but this is applicable all the time now. What we do is we start a Fat Loss Renegade project at the start of every month usually. However, you can start whenever you want. Okay, it's not a case of you have to start on a certain day. If you want to start halfway through the month, you could do that. That's not a problem. And you can join the Facebook group and kind of just fit in with everyone there. It tells you what to eat and what to do to get toned abs every day for 28 days. Okay, so you get directed to a member site. You have an exercise video to do. So there's a couple of exercise videos to do. And they're all stuff that you can do at home. You have a you have a PDF, a document that tells you what to eat, what to drink over the day, things to concern yourselves with, whether it's low carb, whether it's high carb, and you get access to these whenever you want. Now that's great, because then it's just another diet. The main kicker with this is you get access to our private Facebook group. And what people have said is that's the thing that makes it very different from any other diet, because any time of the day, any time of the night, you can get on and say, I'm having a hard time. What can I do? Can I have this? Can I have that? Well, I don't know. Okay. And not only me, I'll help you out because I'm on there, but also the other members of the group. Some of them that have done the Fat Loss Renegade project before will tell you, yeah, okay, well, I had this problem before, maybe try this. Okay, and it really, really works. You get the support, motivation, encouragement from everyone in the group, and it's a good group. There's no negativity. If people are negative, they get kicked out. And then 28 days on, you should have more visible abs if you follow it. Also, if you work in Bristol City Centre, I'm a personal trainer and I'm also a boot camp instructor down in that area. So you can get in touch with me on that. But the first thing is getting on the Fat Loss Renegade project, balance yourself out and get ready for it. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this available at the moment. Okay, it's available right now. I'm going to withdraw this offer at any point though, okay? So at the moment it expires on the 28th of June. I'm talking the 20th of June 2013, but I run the offer quite a bit, but I do different bonuses every month. So it usually retails at £67. You can get it for £47. You also get the bonus of 16 detailed meals with recipes, and you also get a free 15-minute Skype with me personally answering your fat loss and fitness Q&A, which, to be honest, is worth the 47 quid on its own. So I'm going to put a link on this video. It should be below this video right now. If you're watching it on YouTube, it'll be there. If you're watching it on the page, it's going to be there in a big button that you've been staring at the entire time. Click on the link, click on the button to your free bonus stage to claim your spot. Now, if that's too expensive, there should be another button underneath it, which you'll get information only for £27. Now, this is fine. You get exactly the same thing. The only thing you don't get is you don't get the support. You don't get the Facebook page, and you don't get to question me all the time and question the other guys on what actually works, which, to be honest, is the real thing that fires it. The diet works amazingly, but it's tough to follow when you're doing it alone, if that makes sense. Okay, however, if you're self-motivated and you could do this kind of thing on your own, 27 quid is an absolute bargain. Okay, so this offer is gonna expire on the 28th of June. So what I would do is, if this is something that's interested you, get involved with this now. Okay, click the button. Okay, get on the Fat Loss Renegade. Once you clicked it, I'll add you to the Facebook group, I'll add you to the members area, and we'll have a quick dialogue and find out exactly when you want to start and what your goals are. Okay, so that concludes the Toned Abs webinar. Hopefully you've got some information from this that you can go away and take, and hopefully I'm going to see you on the Fat Loss Renegade project soon. So thank you very much. Have a great day.